Hey everyone, welcome to All About the Joy, the private lounge. I'm here with Mario. How you doing, Mario?
I am doing okay.
You're
I'm
doing
I'm
okay.
I'm doing okay. I'm on the struggle. As I tell my friends, I'm on the back of the struggle bus with an expired MetroCard, but I'm okay.
For those people who don't know, you just came out of surgery
Yeah,
and you're healing and getting better. And I don't
yeah,
want to pressure you to talk about it too much, but we have missed you on the show, and we're so glad you're kind of sort of back.
yeah. I got one toe in, one toe out because I don't know how I'm gonna feel from week to week. But I had to have a spinal surgery and have what they call stenosis. And I also have something called Paget's disease. So you can look it up and you can.
Or you can just pray for Mario and his
Mhm.
family. But
Yeah,
I'm just glad that you're feeling better and you're looking so much better. But I have to say, when I came to visit you, your spirit, where do you get that from? I mean, I had hip surgery and I still am talking about it 4 years later. Like I was miserable, you know what I mean? Like, but your
no,
spirit
yeah,
is
no.
just on point.
Well, it's just because I feel like I have had so many surgeries in my life, and this
Mhm.
literally is the 36th surgery. So,
I had
yeah,
no idea.
yeah, this is like my 30, that was number 36. So I'm like, it's just another, like, here we go. Now, when I found out about my diagnosis, and because it started with something called drop foot, because as you people know, a lot of people know I was on a weight loss. I've been on a weight loss journey for the last 2 years,
Okay.
and over the last 2 years, I've lost approximately 143 pounds. So over that process, I was working out like 4 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week, minimum three, top four. I would never do more than five because that's just obnoxious. Um, I was doing really good. I had a steady pace, and I had a tendency to do the, the treadmill, and I would do it like on an incline of like no a minimum of seven,
Hmm.
8, and then I'm doing like 2.5 miles an hour, three, something just a good rhythm. And all of a sudden, I was doing my regular regimen, and my foot started to flop, just like this.
Wow.
Like how you have to stay stride like this, right? And
Hmm.
all of a sudden, my foot was going like this, and it just
Wow.
doing like this, and I couldn't figure out. I'm like, what is going on? And I was still pushing through.
Hmm.
And then I went to the jazz festival, my normal every year thing I do, and I started tripping up the hill. And my mom was like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, what's going on?" I was like, "Mommy, I don't know." I'm like, but I still ignored it, kept going. Then finally called the doctor twice. First doctor gave me some rando excuse. The second doctor's like, um, "From what you're telling me, there's a sign of mini strokes." Mini strokes. I'm headed to the doctor. I'm like, she's like,
Right.
go to the ER. So I go to the ER, and then from the ER, then I end up staying in the hospital 20 days. End up going through a myriad of tests, and then ended up getting the diagnosis. Fast forward, I had to have surgery on my back because the drop foot was a sign, was a signal of the stenosis I have in my back, where stenosis is basically where your spinal cord is open like this, right?
Hmm.
And all up and down. But then where you have stenosis, it closes up like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
So it's super tight. So it's cutting off the signals from the brain to the leg, right? So those signals are not going in. So they have to open it up to get it going. And then from there, I had fallen in between the time I was scheduled for surgery to surgery, and I had a fractured vertebrae. Didn't know when they went in to do my surgery. I didn't think I told you that part, did
No,
I?
you didn't. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So
Lord.
when I read the report, my nurse who comes to check on me read my report. She said, "Mr. Dawson, you had a fractured vertebrae that was removed too." I was like,
What?
"What?" And so she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, they had to remove a fractured vertebrae from, during the surgery. So that's why my incision is a lot larger. And so, but yeah, long story short, I have gone through so many surgeries. I just keep a positive attitude because it's no use in crying about it. What's the use of whining about it? Because this
No,
shit not gonna
okay,
go away.
I totally get that. I think I was more surprised, not just by your spirit, because I've known you for a long time. I know we had a time period where we didn't speak, not for any other reason that we just lost touch.
Right.
But it was interesting, especially when I came to visit you, that we started talking about friendships.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we were going to talk about, because I was a little bit thrown. I don't know if thrown's the right word, but I'm like, okay, but we're in touch and you're in the hospital and I'm down the street, not from the hospital, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can come visit you,
Yeah.
and you were kind of like, no, but you don't know. People say that all the time. And so we started having this I started thinking a lot about your friendships, our friendships, and
Yeah.
wanted to see to start off with, kind of what the definition of friendship is to you, even in a broad sense.
Okay. My sense of friendship it varies because guess it was just interesting because I knew I was having this conversation today. I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what do you see as friendship? And she's like, friendship are those people that you can depend on. She said, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 years, or 5 decades. She's like, because those people are going to show up for you if you pick up the phone and say, I need you. She says, you don't have to see these people every day. You don't have to talk to these people every day. She said, but your friends are also someone who pours into your cup and doesn't empty your cup. She's like, now, if you're pouring into them, and you're emptying your cup and they're never pouring back into you to fill you back up, that's not a friend. She said, that's an acquaintance. She's like, that's someone who you know. You understand what I'm saying? And during this whole process of this particular healing cycle of my life, I got to see who my friends are and be reminded of who my friends are, because I've had people in my life during different seasons of healing. But and those people who show up with me or for me during those different seasons of healing have been consistent. But then there are some people like you who I lost touch with, who have come back into my life. There are some more friends who have come back into my life, like you, right? But guess what? They showed up. Like, they called. They said, hey, friend, I might not be able to make it to the hospital, but I'm leaving town, but I want to make sure, are you okay? How can I support you? There's one of my dear friends who I've known since 6th grade, and he is going through his own health challenges.
Yeah.
But you know what he did? He said, hey, brother, I want to see you before you go into surgery. I might not be able to get to you, but let's go have lunch. Let's fellowship, because I want to see you. I want to love on you. And he said, I want to love on you before. And it was just he and I, and he loved on me real hard, and he supported me, and he's like, I got you. We got this. And he's sitting there struggling with his own things. I'm seeing him struggle, like his light is fading, but he's still worried about me, right? But in the meantime, I'm worried about him.
Right.
So I'm like, brother, I'm gonna pull back into you, because let's get you out of here. Let's get you home. Let's get you rested, and we'll talk later. I'll see you when I wake up. And that's exactly that's all. And that's how I always tell my friends, I'll see you when I wake up.
Right.
Because
I think something that you said earlier about what your mom said is, you know what? It's weird. I didn't think about this, but so for people who don't know, we knew each other back in the day when I worked at Brand New School. And I was the controller of the company there. And you were, I don't know what your title was, but you were our principal person.
I was.
You're the vice president of whatever?
No, I was never a vice president. I was assistant personal banker.
Well, you were our principal person, and whoever our they never helped us at all. So you were our person,
Yeah.
and you took care of everything we needed done at brand new school. And that's how we developed our friendship. And then somewhere along the way, especially when I quit brand new school, which was in like 2007 or 2008, we just kind of lost touch. Now, the irony is we live down the street from each other. Not literally, but we live in the next town over.
My daughter was going to school right around the corner from your house.
I know. So it just happens. But something you said that your mother said, it's true. If I needed something and I called you, I know you would have been there over all these years. And I think you feel the same way. Like if you it would have been weird and out of the blue, but then it would not have been, because you know what? I forget how we started this again, that you started coming on the show or something. But
no, you reached out to me. We had already reconnected.
We were already on Facebook, and we were already on social media, right?
And we were already chit chatting or whatever. And then you said, "Hey, Mario, why don't you pop on?" And I did. And then we did the first private lounge where we talked about my kidney transplant.
That's right.
All of that stuff. And then, we still kept in contact, sidebars, and on the show.
Right.
And it just redeveloped and rekindled, and we picked up where we left off. And then
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't know if I like the word rekindled, but I don't think it had to redevelop. That's what I think. That's what I think is the kind of definition part of friendship for me as well. It's like we never had all that time gone.
Nope.
Between I don't know, like, yes, we're learning more about each other and we're becoming a different kind of friendship now, which is so cool, especially because Alma's involved, your wife, and your daughter's now involved as well, Marissa. And so it's kind of now growing in a way that it hadn't, because we had that stagnation.
Right.
And I think the true definition of friendship is exactly what you said. And time is not as much of a big factor when it's a honest friendship. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. As long as something is sincere and you're coming from a sincere place, no time, it doesn't matter how much time has passed, because there are people in my life, even relatives who I see like as friends, who come back into my life and it's like no time is left. So you just pick right back up. The laughter continues. The laughter it's like we just rib each other. It's just, it's family, it's fun, it's love. And love knows no time. Love knows no boundaries. Love knows, it is.
Okay, but let's talk about when friendships bother you, because because one of the things I've said this to you,
I will read you down without even talking out your name.
Let me tell people who are listening, like, the thing that I find, I guess it's not shocking, but I always have to mind my P's and Q's, because I'm like, was it me? Was it me? Because when you're upset with a friend or you're not happy, you will lay that shit out on social media, but you won't name them.
I will never name names. And so, because the thing is, I have to find an outlet, because my wife, bless her heart, she gets sick of me talking. So, right. So then I don't talk to her about it. So she's like, enough already. Okay, I heard you. So I don't have very much outlet, but social media is a great outlet to get some shit out without having to name names. And it's very rare that I'm like pissed off with multiple people. A lot of times I'm pissed off with my father. And he's not on social media, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right? I can just
right.
Now his family's on social media, so they can clock it if you want to. But it's very.
But that serves as an outlet for you, but
completely. But
have you already spoken to those people? Like, when does it get to that point where a friendship bothers you so much? Okay, you know what? I'm going to say this. If you get mad at me about something, are you going to come talk to me, or am I going to find out about it on?
No. I'm going to always talk to you first, and I'm going to try to have a conversation with you first. But if you're not receiving the conversation, or if you're not taking any accountability, that's when shit goes left. Because I believe in taking accountability for my part, as hard as it is. If somebody calls me on my stuff or calls me on my shit, I gotta sit there and say, you know what? You are totally right. I dropped the ball. Please accept my apology. I promise I won't do this again. Let me work on this. Let me show you that I can do X, Y, and Z.
Or maybe you just made a mistake. It doesn't always have to be that deep.
No, but for me, it's usually that deep because normally in my friendships, I try to be pretty present. I'm that friend. I'm checking in. Hey, friend, you okay? Do you need anything? How can I help you? Or my go-to line, especially when my friends are in need, how can I help you? What can I do to make it easier for you? I said I can't rescue you, but I can help you in some way. What can I do?
Right.
And if they say, well, can you come sit with me? Absolutely. I'm on my way. I can sit with you. I can listen to you. I can hold your hand. I can, I can cook a meal because I'm a good cook. You hungry?
Oh,
let me
write that down. I did not realize that was an option.
I'll feed you. I can feed you because I believe in feeding. Your food feeds not only your belly but your spirit. I'll feed you. You know what I'm saying? And I've done that. But what I will not tolerate in a friendship is misuse. Um, I'm trying not to put this person out there, but like right now I'm upset with someone because all of my friends have checked on me in this instance. But when I poured into this person and I emptied my cup on this person, and you can't even pick up the phone to say, are you okay? How was your surgery?
Do they know you? Well, I'm just.
No. You can answer. You can answer. They absolutely knew what this situation was, and so I asked a mutual friend. I was like, "Hey, are so and so and I beefing?" And and I didn't know. Because see, that's the other question. Because sometimes people are upset with you, and you have
they don't tell
clue.
you, right?
They have no clue, but they'll tell somebody else. Oh, Mario pissed me off because my tongue is very sharp, and sometimes I can come off a little.
I don't know what you're talking about because I'm so the opposite.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
So and sometimes I have a tendency to cut people real short, and I'm not intending to be malicious, but I'm very honest, and people know that too. My friends know me to be that way to a fault. So sometimes I'm like, I may have said something, then I didn't really mean to hurt your feelings.
So this person still hasn't reached out to you, and there's no beef you're aware of.
No, and then I saw that person today on TikTok, and I said, so I told them today. I said, so I guess we're not friends, right?
Oh, serious?
I said that. I said we're not friends, right? And so the person responded, no, we're absolutely friends. So that was your cue to say, well, why would you ask me that?
Yeah, what is that about? That's weird.
And then they didn't respond to anything else. So I was like, okay, cool. But I'm not trying to play games.
Wait. So cool, like you're done? That's it for you?
No. I just know where to put you. Like after having that conversation with my mom, I'm not going to cut you off. But what I am going to do is put you in the category where you deserve to be. So we're not friends. You say we're friends, but no, we're really kind of associates. And we're
so going on that, because that's one of my questions, right? Is when there's a value shift in your relationships, does that make it easier to cut off people? And I'll give you a great example.
Sure.
For me, and this is not to make this political, this is to give you an example, but people who are still supporting Trump, I'm out. I'm out. I just can't even fathom it anymore. Like it's a value shift,
right.
I've had other value shifts that have been interesting, like someone talking about black women this, black women that. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Who do you think you're talking to, number one? And
Right.
number two, back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, so
because your last name is Suarez.
But no, but this is a person who is trying to blame black women for why Kamala Harris didn't win, because it was only 92. They were trying to make a stupid point. Well, it was only 92% women, black women, and only 76. Why didn't they all come out like for Obama? I was like, yeah. So you can see, I was like, you know what? You're cut off. You're done. We're out. We're not having this conversation.
Yeah.
And that's not what is happening here. But I don't want to go off on that tangent. I want to ask you, when value shifts happen, what does that do for you and your relationships? Can they sustain it?
I have a tendency to slowly back away. I have a tendency to, I'm not going to cut you off at the knees, because I'm going to ease away. So next thing you know, you're not hearing from me. Next thing you know, it's been a couple of weeks. Next thing you know, it's been a couple of months.
Right.
And if I haven't after about 6 months and you haven't talked to me and I've blocked you on social media, I think you got it.
Yeah.
But
I'm not. So that's where you and I are opposite. I'm going to tell you.
No, because you know what? Because see, the thing for me, I can be confrontational, but it's exhausting. So therefore, I'm like, I don't need all of that. I can just slow. But then there have been friendships where both parties have decided to say, you know what? I don't think we're friends. I think we need to just be done with each other. I wish you well. I don't wish you no ill. May God bless you on your journey in this life and the next. And no harm, no foul. And I can be done like that too. I've had friendships be done like that.
I think there were friendships that just recently I have an ex-friend that I thought about him the other day because it was his birthday. And normally I would have sent him a text or whatever. And he got me so angry. And it's kind of one of those that I hung up the phone on him. I told him we're no longer friends. We were never friends. Like, I had one of those fights with him. And, to me, it matters. Like, if I gave you a copy of my book when it first came out, hand wrote you a note and handed it to you, and I know you are a voracious reader, because every time I talk to you, you talk about the latest thing you read. And we're like, what? I wrote my book in 2018, so I gave it to him probably in 2019. And we in 2020, I had to look at the calendar to make sure. Okay, and we in 2025. Well, the breakup of our friendship ended in 2024. You've never been supportive of me.
So that means you didn't have the value to him.
Yeah. So and the thing
is your anger because he didn't have the value, or because you invested the time? Are you more angry at him, so then I think sometimes that's where our anger is displaced, and I think we get pissed off with ourselves, and I think that's where our anger really gets going, because I'm like, why the fuck did I spend so much time
for sure
in investing in this person? And then that's where you get pissed off, and then we kind of recycle that stuff in our heads, and then that's for us to get out of, because that means we're giving that person too much power. We've empowered them, believe it or not. So when we stop caring and we don't value, we stop giving that value, then we deflate the power that we've given that person, and we've also given ourselves room for peace and for other things and
for other people to come in. I mean, I think that's the beauty of cutting people out of your life. And no, you're absolutely right. I was more upset that I had wasted, because this person, I helped them learn. It doesn't even matter. Yes, I gave much more, because I believe in reciprocity. How do you say reciprocity? Yes, I can't say that word because of my stutter, but yes. I believe in that. And you're kind of calling it the same thing when you're saying pouring into each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And and I don't believe there's a time period. It's not like, okay, well, I gave you an hour of time, Mario. You need to give me. No, it's like sometimes we need more. Sometimes we don't need anything. And sometimes nobody needs nothing and we're just chilling. You know what I mean? Like
That's it.
there
That's
is
the
no
best part.
equation. And the
Yeah.
way I see it is at some point when I'm asking you, I'm now basically asking you as my friend to help me with this. And your answer isn't, Carmen, I cannot, I'm unable to, or I wish I could, or I support you, but I can't. It's just complete ignorance and silence. You're not a friend.
No. There's no value there.
And you're right. I was mad at myself, but I also had to knock him out. I don't mean physically, I mean knock him out of my life in order to just be like settled, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why this came up too, is because I was like, you know, I really want to talk about this in depth with somebody who understands friendship so much.
100%.
So have you ever ended a friendship that still haunts you today?
No. Only because when I'm done, or when I've done everything that I can, then I'm old enough to know. Now, a younger Mario probably would have said, "Oh yeah, I wish this," but no. I'm old enough to know that when something has run its course, it's run its course.
Oh man.
The oil has run out the engine. It is burnt to the ground. It is done. And I'm gonna walk away and keep on trucking. And I'm gonna leave that little empty, burnt up engine on the curb where it's at.
You know what? I thought you were going to say something else, but you just helped heal me a little bit. I had a friend named Todd who I went to college with. Long story short, we both came out here, not together, but eventually I helped him find an apartment out here. Like we were connected, and we had a huge fight when he borrowed my car. It doesn't matter what the fight was about. He took my car and he needed it to go to San Diego or wherever he was going. I said, take my car, no big deal, because I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like material things don't matter to me. But he took my car, it got into some situation and he didn't handle it well and got into a big fight on the phone. He came back and he like left my cars, he parked it, but he left my keys like on the door. Didn't even wait to have a conversation about it, didn't whatever. And we never talked again. Like he wouldn't answer my phone calls and he wouldn't take my calls. He was upset that I yelled at him on the phone about what he did to the car to get it fixed or whatever. And I still don't think I was out of line, but I will say this. I found out recently that he died a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
I know. So that's why I was asking the question. Like, I feel bad in that we couldn't fix that situation because it wasn't that it was a small thing. It wasn't about the car. Clearly it wasn't about the car. You know what I mean? And my friend Mia and some other friends who know him have different ideas of why he was so angry with me, but we're not going to go there. But the point is, a part of me was feeling very regretful of that friendship, that I didn't resolve it. You know what I mean? But you just said something is, you know, look, I mean, basically this is what I took from what you just said. You could tell me if I'm wrong, but like you did the best you could. And you had to leave that in the background. And yeah,
you leave it there. But okay, I'll give you a better example of why I'm good on people. I was in a long-term relationship way before my wife. And
I hope so.
My wife knows the story. She gets annoyed when I say it, but it is what it is.
It's okay.
I was in a relationship with someone. The relationship had ended, but she ended up dating one of my best friends.
Okay.
So they ended up going off into the sunset, but I have always had the sneaking suspicion that they were cheating, they were creeping while we were together.
Oh.
Now that might not be the case. There was some misunderstandings along the way. You know, there was all of these things. But when we broke up, she proceeded to call my house asking for him because he was staying with me at the time, which I thought was
a good person. Okay.
Very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
So I had to let her know, hey, you can't call this MF house no more. So I told him, I said, look, if she's calling you, you need to have that conversation somewhere else. You can't have this conversation in my house.
Rude from both of them.
Both of them. So he left. He moved out. Great. Cool. Then he brings back her stuff to me, right? And so then from there, it goes into, I find out, fast forward, they're dating. Fast forward, they get married. Fast forward, they have children. Fast forward, he's dead now. And when a mutual friend called to tell me that he had passed, I didn't feel anything. And that was like, wow. And so when I didn't feel anything, that kind of let me know I was kind of over both of them. And it's like, you know what? I don't wish. And here's the thing. I don't wish anyone death because I've had a hard life. I've had a very, very hard life. So I don't wish people death. But I do believe in karma. And I do believe in how you get them is how you lose them. And I do believe in, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. I totally get it.
But I was like, wow, that's some hard karma for yourself because now you're miserable again because that person made me miserable.
Right.
At the end. And see, it doesn't mean your misery doesn't always come right away.
Right.
And misery can come later on. But that's another friendship I don't regret losing.
Right.
I was hurt in the beginning.
Right.
About it. But the thing is, I realized it was never my friend. And then there were signs that this person wasn't my friend before he started dating my ex. Before that, see, there was a time where we had gone to Catalina Island, for example, and it was a group of us that went. We were young. We were supposed to spend New Year's Eve over there. Note to self.
Yeah, don't.
Catalina Island is boring.
Right, exactly.
Like, it is dead.
I mean, everyone should come to California and visit there if you need to, but
no, but don't go for New Year's Eve. No, I thought it was gonna be jumping. It was like
wow.
Anyway,
okay. That's what you regret now.
Regret. One regret. So anyway, we come back and we're all broke and short of money, but he left me and my friend Rebecca there. But he took him and his friends back home. He called his mom. His mom came and got them, and he said, "Oh, I don't have enough room for y'all, so I'll see y'all later."
Wow!
And left me stranded in Long Beach.
So that was him. That was
the same person. Same person.
So you kind of mad at yourself. That was why you were bringing that up. Like when we're mad at ourselves for wasting time.
For wasting the time. And see, and that was one of those. That's one of those instances where you didn't see the sign,
right,
the first time, and then you came back around to me and asked me for another favor, and I let you back in. So that's one of those things like where you beat yourself up and you get mad at yourself. But then I'm resolved because I dodged a bullet, number one. Number two, I have the best friends who show me what true friendship is.
That's right.
3, I have an amazing wife who loves me deep, and you know how deep Alma loves me.
Yes, she does.
So those are the lessons I got from that. So you know what? For those lessons, I say thank you.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? As long as you get the lesson from what, and I just had this conversation with Amila, my niece. I said, as long as you get the lessons from the stuff that you did wrong, or the lessons from someone doing you wrong, and you don't repeat it, then you're learning. You're growing.
You still win. Still a win. Yeah. So do you think some friendships are supposed to be seasonal? Or lifelong, or is every friendship supposed to be a lifelong relationship?
No, and that goes back to that saying: are some friendships are for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Yeah.
Oh, I like the reason one. Wait, that's a good one. Why did I miss that? Now, I always think this is Tyler Perry, and I think you were the one who's like, that's not Tyler Perry.
That's not Tyler Perry. He just gave a different analogy of the roots, the
Oh,
tree and the
okay.
leaves. He's
Okay.
like, it's some people are the roots, some people are the trees, and some people are the leaves, and some people are the branches.
Okay.
And
Let's
listen,
leave
that's
poor Tyler
listen,
Perry. Okay, wait. So friendships for a reason. I like that. Why
yeah.
is
Some
friendship
people,
for a reason?
some people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Some people are just angels that come into your life just for a short season, just for a reason to help you learn something, and then you move on, and they move on, and they transit, they do something.
So maybe that could be the Todd thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if he taught me anything. No, I don't
But
know.
there
I
was,
don't know.
but
Oh,
there
no,
are
he's
people.
a season. He would be a season.
He would be a season, and
Season.
like there was some friends who were in my life in high school. They came back into my life later on, and their time they served their purpose, and they were just a season. They just were supposed to be in my life for a season, and we are no longer friends, but they were great friends for that time period and for that season, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then there are my people who are lifetimers, like Sheila Brunson is a lifetimer. Corey James, Christopher Anderson. These are people who are lifetimers. Like we've been friends for 40 plus years, and
Mm-hmm.
Christopher is another. This is the friend I told you who came to see me who was not doing well. There was a
Right.
long time where we lost touch. We completely lost touch. But I was always asking for him through other friends. So
Right.
then when we reconnected, it was like no time had
No time
passed.
had passed. Yeah. Those are the good. Those are the good ones. Those are the
Yeah,
family people. Those to me are family. Like, and it's so
yeah,
funny because somebody the other day was asking me some question, whatever, and I said, "Well, my brother from another mother, da 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 da," and they were like, "Is he related to you?" I'm like, "He's family." They're like, "But is it?" Because they
yeah.
were so
It's not
stuck.
blood.
They
No,
were like
no.
missing. They were missing the actual thing we were talking about because they got stuck on this. Well, what makes somebody your brother from another mother? I'm like, somebody who's been with you through thick and thin, somebody who is gracious and kind. And the thing I love about Billy, I'm just going to say this because a lot of people who listen to the show know who Billy is, but he's never been on the show. He will never want to be on the show. But I knew Billy when I was in color guard and drum corps, and he basically was somebody I competed against and had no business competing against at all because he was so much better than I could ever be. There's no even doubt about it. But anyway, then he became one of my instructors.
Wait,
And
he did come on the show once, a long time
no,
ago,
no, no,
didn't he?
no, no. That's Tommy Lee. Billy
Oh,
has not
okay.
been on the show. No,
Okay.
no. I don't think Billy's been. No, Billy might have been on the phone maybe once, but he hasn't been on the show. But I think the thing that I love about Billy is there's no airs. I can cry with him for real, and he's not going to judge me. We can fight or argue about politics. We can have great conversations about other things. We visit each other, but I don't talk to him every day. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And one time I made the mistake of telling him, I said, "Man, it's been like 3 weeks. We haven't talked, and I really needed to talk to you." Da, da, da. And he was like, "Oh, okay. I'm sorry." And then, like every week after that, he was texting me, "You okay?" I'm like, "All right, back it up."
Uh-huh. Teach you a lesson. He's like, okay, I'm gonna fix
You
you.
know? But the reason why I feel like that becomes a family thing is because I know that when I was at my lowest point, I didn't even have to ask. He knew.
Yeah.
And that's that instinctual feeling of someone who knows you so well and says, "I got you. What do you need?"
Hmm.
That to me is like, okay, yeah. I love him so much. I love that
Yeah.
man so much because there are very few people who get me like that. And most people think of me as some strong, powerful woman who needs nobody, which that's bullshit. But it's like, but people don't know that.
Of course.
People will keep taking from you or asking you for stuff because they think you have more than you actually do. So when somebody gets it, that to me that's deep love for me. Yeah, I love Billy.
But I think that, believe it or not, I think Rick is a good friend. I think
Who are we
Rick
talking
is
about? Rick
Rick
Cosby.
Cosby. Yeah.
I
You
love
know
Rick.
I call
Rick
him
and
out,
I, are
Rick.
you talking about a good friend to me? I do.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Rick is a good friend. Rick is interesting because we really, especially at the beginning, I don't know about now, but at the beginning when I asked him to be the co-host, I asked him, I'm going to start this show, whatever. I said, but we got to have some conversations because we do not align on things.
Right.
And the thing that made Rick amazing is not only was he able to take everything I had to say to him and ask about or whatever and answer honestly and truthfully. And, and I'm not saying you don't have to change your mind or be different.
No.
But you need to be able to explain to me so that I at least logically understand so that we can have some type of alignment. Rick's a good guy. Rick's a really good guy.
He's a really good guy. And you don't have to put this in the show, but
it's going to be in the show because you brought it up. But go ahead.
But I think that even though politics and religion you guys see completely differently, but that's the fact that you can agree on so much more than that. I think that's what makes a good friend.
Let me just say this though about the politics part because I think it's important. The reason why Rick and I are not that different on politics, actually.
Okay.
And I'm going to even say this. A lot of people, and this is so interesting because Andrea and I are going to talk about this in our next episode on culture and consequence. Most people think they're Republicans, but they're really not. Like they're not. And so I think that's kind of the thing is the conversations I had with Rick were about deep issues. They're about abortion, about I had to have these because I had to be like, let's just be honest. I need to know where you're coming from and why. But that's because we did have a good friendship and we've built on that I felt comfortable to have that conversation with him. And he felt comfortable to tell me basically the F off. No, he didn't. He was like, yeah, Carmen, whatever. Yeah,
no.
But yeah, the friendship is based on a mutual respect, and that's a whole.
But see, I think that's the foundation of any friendship.
That's true.
It's just having mutual respect.
There's a difference between acquaintances and respect.
The difference between acquaintances and respect. Acquaintances come in and out when they need something from you, whereas a friend will be there when you need it, no matter what.
No matter what.
And right now I'm feeling a little used by one person, but I'm not gonna put it out there on social media this time.
Okay, you just put it on the podcast. Oh my God, that was so good. No, do you have any last words besides dissing this person?
I'm not dissing them. I'm not dissing them at all.
Come on, blast.
No. When I say about friendship, it show up in the best way that you can. Yep. And it's not perfection. Nobody's asking for perfection. Nobody's asking you to be the best version of yourself. But just be authentic and be true to yourself and then true to that other person. Because it's never going to be 50-50. Any relationship is never going to be 50-50.
That's right.
But as long as you know what you're signing up for when you walk in the door, or when you say, I love this person, or you say, I'm down for you, I'm a ride for you, then ride for them. And that's what I do. And I do that for any of my friends, all of my friends.
I love you, Mario.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you so much. I love you deep too. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you so much for doing this. Do it again. And I'm so glad you're feeling better. So
today.
Thank you so much. Everyone, remember we are always here on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. For our Friday night lives. I know, right? And check out our new show, Culture and Consequence, which lands on Thursday nights. And remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. Thank you, everyone.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.